everyone, One Big Boss here, and welcome back to another episode of The Rundown. Today, episode 7, as you can tell from the title above, is, well, handhelds. We're going to be talking about something, well, technically I'm actually going to be talking about something that's bothered me for a while about handhelds. Now, as a child, growing up in the late 80s and early 90s, I always loved handhelds. You know, I loved systems like the Super Nintendo, regular Nintendo, the Sega, you know, all the stuff I used to play with my cousins and everything. Those things were great. Those were great systems. And then when handhelds came around, they started changing how gaming really was a little bit, you know, because you couldn't take your Super Nintendo on the road or anything like that. I mean, you could take it over to a friend's house or something, you know, and that was pretty cool back in the day. But now, when the original Game Boy came out, we had handhelds. And I mean, like, you know, they had like those little Tiger electronic things, which, like in one of these cabinets anyway, there's my my Sonic the Hedgehog one. I found that online for like $10, free shipping and handling. I couldn't beat it. It was a huge part of my childhood. I lost the original one years ago, but I'm glad to have it back. Anyway, we're talking about handhelds right now, and we're talking about like serious handhelds. You know, like I said, like the Game Boy Color, the Advance, the Sega Game Gear, all that stuff. The PlayStation Portable, good stuff, you know? Well, sort of anyway. And what I've noticed is, now when me and my friends were younger, we'd be outside all the time playing in the woods and everything like that, or playing sports out in the street. And, you know, even on rainy days or days when we were done doing all that stuff and we were just tired and want to relax, we'd come in and we'd start playing our Game Boys or Game Boy Colors, or, you know, some of us had the Game Boy Advance first before the others. And mainly, we played these, Pokemon. That was what the big thing we all played, you know, and a lot of kids in the 90s were playing those, you know. For years I had a lot of regular Game Boy games, you know, and they were fun, they were great, loved them. But now, when Pokemon came around, that was something that was big, because those games were so massive. They had so much thought put into them, and playing with your friends was just amazing. Hooking the link cables up and, you know, fighting people like 2-on-2. That was great for Pokemon. And it was really great for the handheld systems, too, you know. It helped progress that stuff. And, you know, handhelds got around. You know, the Sega Game Gear did meh. But it was still cool. I liked it. You know, despite the fact that it took 6 batteries to power the damn thing. But, hey, you got color, you know. And the color on those screens were really bright and really gorgeous back then. You know, nobody can deny that. But, time goes on, you know, technology advances. Super Nintendo became the N64, PlayStation came around, Sega went to the Dreamcast, so, you know, the Game Boys kept evolving, you know. We had the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP, you know, then the DS, and honestly, the DS was a pretty good, it really was. It was a really good handheld. The only reason why I bought it was because, well, Resident Evil Deadly Silence came out on it. Sort of a port to the original Resident Evil Director's Cut with touchscreen features and everything. You know, it was cool. It's the only reason why I bought this at first, and then I was glad I did for all the other, you know, couple of good DS games I got. Now, the DS was good, but when it came time for the 3DS to come around, this little guy, I was not impressed by this. I mean, I bought it the day it came out. My ex was sleeping at home, and when I came home, started playing it, had Street Fighter 4. That was the only thing I got for it, because it was the only thing good. And she goes, was it worth the $240? And I was like, no comment. And she just glared at me. What I'm trying to get at is the Game Boy, the Nintendo 3DS had pretty much a 6-month drought of game. And the way Nintendo countered that was giving us 10 free NES games, and then we had to wait even longer for the 10 Game Boy Advance games. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the Game Boy Advance games were okay. Some of them were good, like some of the really good ones, like Metroid Fusion. I'm glad they threw that in there, and then one of the Mario games was thrown in there too. Why they threw the Mario Kart DS game in there, I do not know, since you can't hook it up and play 2-player. At least I don't think you can. I'm probably sure you can. But the NES games, I have all those up here, you know, like right behind the N64 games. So that was cool and everything like that. And it's cool that you can download, you know, old games to it. but we need actual games for it. Now, I'm sorry to say this, Legend of Zelda: The Ocarina of Time 64, amazing game. And when it came out for the 3DS, yeah, I guess that's cool, but it's kind of a port slash remake. Same with Star Fox 64 for the 3DS. It's just a port with, a port remake kind of thing, Multiplayer mode was fun in it, a lot of people had a great time with it, but there was no online mode. And something like that, that's another topic for another time about online gaming. But for now, something like that could have had an online mode. Because if you have friends that don't have a 3DS, because who has the money to drop like $170 on one of these things now? But I really feel that the only good game that's not a port or a remake had to have been Resident Evil Revelations. I waited so long for that game. And unfortunately, it wasn't everything I wanted it to be. But at the same time, I can't really complain because it was a phenomenal game. It's probably the best looking game on the 3DS. Many people are trying to say, what about Metal Gear? I was like, well, Metal Gear Solid 3, unfortunately, is a port slash remake. It's an updated, graphic, It's got cool new features, I'm not going to knock that, but, it just wasn't that good. And then, when it came time for the PlayStation Portable to come out, there weren't that many good games for it. There were some. I'm not saying it was a complete failure. There were some good games for it, and the only reason why at the time I got my PSP back in, I think, 2005. I was still in high school, actually. The only reason why I got it was so I could get Breath of Fire 3, my favorite RPG of all time, because, I couldn't take that game on the road, and that's a phenomenal game to kill time with if you're on a long road trip or a plane flight. So, pretty much all I use this thing for now is when I go on trips. I have Resident Evil 1, 2, 3 loaded onto this thing, 3 Crash Bandicoot games, and Wild Arms 2, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, and a couple of other ones up there too. I think Legend of Dragoon's on there as well. But as game-wise, Peace Walker, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, saved this thing. Sort of. That was a game that should have came out on a system for how amazing they put on a show with that. But they did it for the PlayStation Portable, and I respect the job they did on that, and they made it work. I just don't think that handhelds are going to last much longer. I mean, we've already got a new 3DS, the 3DS Lite or whatever it's called. I mean, come on, that's just a bit ridiculous. We still don't have that many good games for it. And now the PlayStation Vita, that thing is a flop. It is crap. I mean, I admit I want one, but I don't want to pay that much for one right now. That's ridiculous. I could easily afford it, yeah, but there's crap buying that thing. Uncharted Golden Abyss is one of the only good-looking games on it. It's unbelievable. They have the balls just to keep rehashing games. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and now Ninja Gaiden Sigma, which was a freaking amazing game on the PlayStation 3 right up here. That's on the PlayStation Vita now. And now it plays I guess Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword from what I read about. That's cool and all, but again, it's another port. And I don't know. It's just, it doesn't seem to me, I don't think handhelds are what they were on the Game Boy Color and the Game Boy Advance and, back in the day. I feel like a lot of games are rushed and you really just don't connect with them anymore or have that much fun. Now, I'm not trying to shit on anybody's parade or anything like that. That's the last thing I want to do. This is just my personal feeling on this, and, comment below, please. Leave comments below and let me know what you think of handheld gaming. I really want to know where you people think. Should the 3DS produce more games to play online with people that you can meet, so that it doesn't fail completely like it already pretty much is? Or do you want to keep it like it is and just keep going with that? I admit that I see a lot of little kids these days walking the streets or coming into my job, and they're all on iPads and their parents' iPhones. You've got a 5-year-old holding an iPhone. Those things are unstable as it is. Don't let a 5-year-old be playing Angry Birds on it and stuff. Don't be doing that. And giving them a 3DS, or a DS, this is how I see the kids playing it. And I don't want to flip the screen up and show you, but you can get the idea. They shake it, and the thing is flopping back and forth, and I'm sorry, they don't teach kids how to respect games these days, or what they have. I respected all my stuff. That's why something like this still works today. Never a problem with it. That's why a lot of my old systems are still working. I'm going a little off topic here and everything, but I feel that a lot of the games today are for children. And I don't think that, you know, the handhelds are that fun anymore. I honestly really do not have the fun with it. It's just how I feel. So, like I said, hit the like button. Please comment in the section below. I want to know what everybody here thinks about gaming here with handhelds. Does it still have a chance, or is it just going to keep going downhill? Please, let me know. I would love to hear from everybody and hear their opinions, because I've heard a lot of people from like GameStop, Best Buy, people I know, people on forums. Now it's time. I want to hear my subscribers, and I want to hear the viewers out here on YouTube and the serious gamers. I want to know what you think of handheld gaming. Does it have much time left, or is it going to be something that keeps going? Please, let me know. Alright everybody, well that does it for yet another episode of The Rundown. If you like this video, please subscribe, because we're going to have plenty more coming out. There's a lot to talk about within the coming months. So like I stated before, please like this video and comment down below and let me hear your thoughts, because I'll get back to them as best as I can, because this is a pretty good subject and I'd like to get everybody's opinion. So as always, thanks to all my fans for watching and subscribing, and this is One Big Boss, and I will see you all next time.